guys a little tutorial in how I go about covering up my acne so that it's as unobtrusive as possible. I'm not going to be able to get rid of it overnight. It doesn't just go away, and neither do acne scars. But there are ways that you can cover it up without making the problem worse. Now, after you've washed your skin and everything's clean and you've got a good palette to work on, and make sure that your hands are clean also, because you don't want to be getting oils from your fingers into your pores, because that's what causes acne. I start with a liquid foundation. I personally use the Almay Clear Complexion makeup because it has stuff in it for people that are prone to breakouts, and I put it on a little wedge sponge. I don't apply this with my fingers, just to reduce the amount of oil that I'm getting in my pores. So you're gonna dab all over here. And just so you guys know, I haven't put on any makeup yet today. This is like the first makeup that I'm putting on. You don't want to rub it in too much, but you just want to like lightly dab and blend. I feel like I'm on an art show here. The guy that paints the trees. Dab. Now, in terms of covering up acne with your foundation, sometimes people make the mistake of wanting to just like glob on the foundation to make sure that it's covered. Try and keep it evenly distributed all over the course of your skin so that you're not overdoing it on the first layer. I also like to go around my eyes a little bit just to like keep them consistent with the same color as the rest of my skin, especially later when you're going to go in there and want to put like concealer or brightener to like cover the dark circles. It's better if you start with the foundation to make sure that it's a similar color as the rest of your face. The next step, concealer. Now, I use Almay Smart Shade Concealer, so it's a liquid concealer. This specific one matches your skin tone. It blends in with whatever's already there, so that's why you want to put the foundation on first so that it's blending with the color of the foundation. You want to just do it really lightly. I find that like the warmth of using like your finger and your skin tends to keep it from like getting flaky and peely, and I think it also helps it blend a little bit better. This is one of the only times when I use my fingers to apply makeup. You're just gonna go around to anywhere that you have a pimple or like a spot that you're wanting to cover and kind of dab and blend on that. Don't be too like rough and be like scrubbing it in there to try and get it to cover, because you'll actually end up blending it too far in and then you'll still have the pimple like showing through it. So a light touch is kind of what you want to have here. I also do concealer under my eyes and on my eyelids. It'll actually make your eyes look more awake and brighter, so it's okay if it's a little tiny bit highlighted looking. You want to make sure that you follow the natural like crease of your eye, and always be swiping up instead of like down, because that's going to show more wrinkles, and when you push it down like that, when it goes up, it creates a little bit of a better line, and it blends better when you're going up like that. Alright, so you can already tell that the pimples are kind of starting to get covered up a little, you know. They're not completely gone, you can still tell that they're kind of there, and you're obviously going to know that they're there because everybody always knows where their pimples are and they always think that they're worse than they actually are, me included. The next step that I do is I put on a stain on my cheeks, just on the apples of them to give them a little color. So you squirt just a little teeny tiny bit onto your finger. Like this much. So you just dab it a little bit on just the apples of your cheeks. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. We're going to put on now some powder. What I use is Almay Wake Up Hydrating Makeup. It helps like moisturize your skin, because sometimes, especially for me in the winter, my skin gets really flaky. This kind of counteracts that, which is really nice. You just get a little powder on your brush and you go over your entire face. This just kind of helps everything not only stay, but it kind of finishes and blends things together that weren't necessarily blending fully before, like the cheek color. Another good little tip when you're working with powder and foundation is to make sure that you continue a little bit like underneath and like down your neck, like underneath your chin. Otherwise you're gonna have like those awkward orangey skin colored lines that show that you're wearing a ton of makeup on your face. Powders in general, if you have oily skin, are a fantastic route for foundation. If you have really oily skin, I might even recommend just using a powder foundation instead of a liquid one. In the summer, I tend to just use powder just because it's so hot and liquid foundations kind of clog my pores. But in the winter, the liquid foundation kind of gives me the extra moisture that I need just because it's so cold out and it makes my skin dry. Then I take my Neutrogena powder blush kind of as like a final step. I know that there's already some color here, but what I do to continue it up is you make sure that you smile so you can kind of see where your lines go. And then it kind of gives you the natural contours of your cheekbones and like where to go along. And I also do a little bit on the bridge of my nose just to kind of continue it over and give you kind of that like sun-kissed look. There are ways to play up another feature that'll kind of distract from your acne. You know, people will look to that feature first instead of the acne, but most importantly, it's going to make you feel confident. To finish off the look, I'm just going to put on a little bit of mascara. Whenever I have issues with my acne, it makes me feel better to be able to play up another feature to kind of distract from that, I guess. Mine specifically tends to be like around my mouth. Drawing attention to my eyes kind of helps draw attention away from that. I don't always tend to go for like the bold lips because I have acne around here and I don't want another thing drawing attention to that area. That's the most important part, is doing makeup that makes you personally say, I feel good. There you have it, guys. A simple, clean, everyday makeup look that will cover up your pimples. I do this every single day pretty much, if I even put on makeup at all. I'm a pretty like low maintenance person when it comes to makeup, so it's not too tricky. I hope you guys enjoyed this little diversion from my usual Here's the Thing videos. If these kinds of videos are something that you're interested in seeing more of, feel free to write something down in the comment section and let me know what you want to see. Whether it be styling tips or advice about boys or more makeup or nails or hair or whatever, life. Comment away.